Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Jorja's Shenanigans. I'm Jorja. This afternoon I'm going to show you how I make my stretch bracelets. So you know, there's no hard and fast rules about it. This is just how I do it. Okay, everyone's got their own technique, and this is how I do it. So I've chosen black thread, so I'm hoping that you can see that better than a clear thread. And what I've done is I've laid my beads out. These are tourmaline beads, they're 8mm. So I've sort of paired up the colours. So I've got 2 blue, 2 yellow, 2 green, 2 purple, blah blah blah. So they're going to be on our bracelet. Our knot is going to be hidden in this little bail bead, which has got a decent size hole in it, and on this little bail I'm going to make some little dangles out of the 6mm beads of the same gem, of the same gemstone. So I've taken my thread, I've pre-stretched it, I've just grabbed a piece of tiger tail wire. I don't know if you can see that. Just folded it in half, and that's going to be my needle. Okay, you know, you can use a big eye needle or whatever, but you'll have problems at the end because you won't be able to get it off without breaking it. So I always just use a little piece of tiger tail. So it's really, really easy. Just thread your beads on, if I can even get it on there. So this is just going to take a minute. We're using little spaces in between these little round donut shaped spaces, which I think look pretty nice. I've laid them all out on the board. I use this little beading board for bracelets. I prefer this rather than the little ones with the circle. For some reason I think this way, I don't know, it's just, for me it's just a bit easier. But you know, each their own. Like, I just prefer to use the little bamboo board. I've got the other plastic ones, the ones that are flocked. But yeah, I like the little bamboo one. The beads slide easier on it. It's just better for designing. I've got a big one as well, like for designing necklaces. It foxes me up though because it's in inches. And I'm not used to inches. I'm used to centimetres. So I apologise in advance for anyone that's not on the metric system. I'll try to remember to explain in inches as well as centimetres. But sometimes I need a calculator. But anyway, so it's Anzac Day here. It's Thursday afternoon. It's a little bit chilly. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. We had the bagpipes and whatnot going across the road at about 6 o'clock, I think it was, for the Anzac Day ceremony. I didn't go over there. I was too cold and I was still tired and it was just too early. So yeah, so I just sort of listened to it from home. And yeah, we always should remember the fallen ones, lest we forget. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. I've been having a good day. I've been working on some videos to put up for you guys. I'm hoping that you will subscribe and smash that little notification bell. And if you could like my videos too, would be great. helps a lot. I'm not a professional videographer by any stretch of the imagination. I use my iPhone and a ring light, and I'm hoping that their quality is good enough. I'm new to all this YouTube stuff. Not new to the jewellery world, but definitely new to YouTube. So we've got our beads on. So you just want to make sure that they're all nice and even. Just hold your ends, or hold them together where the beads meet. Just make sure you've got a good length, which I do. So if you just hold them like that, sorry, I went out of frame, and just pop it on your wrist. So now, what we need to do, we take our needle off. This is why it's best to use a piece of wire rather than a needle. Now you want to slide your beads up towards the loop. Because you're going to pull them through. Like that. So, you know, you don't want it to be super tight, but you don't want it to be loose either. If it's too tight, it's too much pressure on the elastic and it'll break. You know, eventually it'll fail. But you don't want it too loose either, because then it's going to look loose. So it's kind of, you know, you've got to kind of get that happy medium. And I've just realised I forgot to put the bail on. So what I'm going to have to do is pop my finger through the loop so that they don't all fall off. And then I should be able to just thread these through the bail. Maybe, or not. There we go. Okay. So, again, we'll tighten it up. Pull it up like that. So there we have it. Now, like I said, you don't want it to be too tight because you don't want too much pressure on your elastic. But at the same time, you don't want it to be loose either. So at this point, what I do is I separate my tails and pass them through the bracelet. Just like that. And then tie just a regular knot. Give it a little pull. You don't want to yank on your elastic because it will break if you yank on it too hard. Pass the tails back through underneath. Tie another one. I'm actually not very happy with this elastic. It's kind of fraying a little bit. For the purposes of the video, we'll keep going. Pass them through again, but I will actually remake this with better elastic. I just chose this black one because I wanted you to be able to see it. Now, so we've done 2 knots. Now, for the next 2, I do surgeon's knots. So through once, and then through twice, tie it. Same thing again, once, twice, tie it. Sorry, I'm always out of frame. I'm either too high or too low. And then I do it one more time. So cross them over. Now, by crossing them over like that, if you have a look at the knot, see it kind of lays along the elastic rather than just piling all up on top of each other. That's why I pass it through like that. I learned that from Carol. She used to be Affordable Jewellery Supplies. She's now the Modern Stylist or something like that on YouTube. She's really, really good. You should check out her channel. Cut off your ends. So there's our knot. So what we do now is we grab our glue. I use this one, this T8000. The reason I like this is it's nice and clear when it dries. And it doesn't go hard, like it stays a little bit flexible. So for me, that's good. You know, I think that works better. You know, than like things like super glue and stuff like that. They go hard and they go brittle, and yeah, I don't ever use super glue. So now you want to gently slide your bail onto that knot and then let your beads go. So that's how that's going to be. So now what we need to do is we need to make our little dangles. And to do that, we're going to use head pins. I've got 5 here, haven't I? I think I'll do 5. I'm not 100% sure just yet. So, grab your pliers, grab one of your beads that you're going to make into a dangle. And we're just going to do a simple loop. Now these head pins are stainless steel, so they're fairly hard, they're fairly strong. They're pretty tough actually. So you're going to bend your wire over to a right angle pretty much. Sorry. Take your cutters. You want to cut it off. Now it depends on how big you want to make your loop. So I'm going to make like a medium sized loop. So I'm going to cut that about 1 centimetre from the bead. Take your round nose pliers, pop the wire in there, make sure it's not sticking through, press down and turn. Now there's tools out there that you can get to make loops. I just make my loops by hand, particularly if I'm in a mood to do loops. I quite like doing them a lot of the time. So there's one. So and the second one. We'll try and sort of do one of each colour or whatever, so they're not all the same. Bend that over, cut it at about 1 centimetre. Centimetre's a little bit less than 1/2 inch, I believe. Grab it in your round nose, turn it. Oops, that was bad. Sorry guys, something happened to my phone then. Okay, so take your second one, bend your wire, cut it off. Sorry, this is the third one, not the second one. Now it's going to give me grief. When you bend wire, or do anything with wire, what happens is it becomes what's called work hardened. So it'll harden up. So if you're using a wire like stainless steel that's already fairly hard, when you bend it, then it sort of instantly becomes harder. So if you've got to unbend it, it can be an issue. So got to kind of remember that. Make sure these loops are closed and stuff before we're finished. So one more. I don't even know if these little charms will look any good, but we'll give it a shot. You don't know until you try. I haven't actually designed this. I haven't had any kind of design process whatsoever. I just grabbed the beads out and thought, oh yeah, that'll look alright. And decided I'd do a video for you. Okay, so we've got 5. Okay, so now to attach these to our bail, all we need to do is open the loop on each one just by pulling it up like that. Then, I don't know if I'll be able to hold this by that or not. Then slide it onto the bail. And then you need to close the loop. So it's just bending it back into position. Make sure it closes, make sure it's straight. It's not quite closed. Now it is. So there's one. I think I've got this on the wrong side. Oh, it's trying to go through the other loop. No. And I'll use my fingers. You guys may not be able to see it so well, but at least I can get it on that way. So, just turn it around, grab the loop, bend it back down. Make sure it's nicely closed. And you'll find too, if you're using stainless steel, it's a little bit springy. So you may need to just double check that you've closed, because it'll look like it's closed, but then it'll actually spring back a little bit. Pop that one in, close the loop. Make sure it's closed and straight. Don't know if I'm going to be able to fit that 5th one in. Should fit, so we'll try. Okay, it's done. So I won't stretch it over my hand because the glue's not dry yet. But there you have it. There's our little tourmaline bracelet with its little dangles. So what do you think, guys? Is it nice? I think I'd wear it. So what do you think? So thanks very much for sticking with me until the end. If you could subscribe and smash the notification button, would be fabulous. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day and evening. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.